Homestead and Gardenside Chat. So today I'm going to do a little bit of cooking. Not sure how much I'm going to get done, but I'm going to try. For sure, I'm going to get some split pea and ham soup in my Instapot. I almost always have something going in the Instapot, whether it's making wine for a elixir or yogurt, or now I'm just going to make some soup that I'm going to plan on canning. Yesterday I did quite a bit, so I am feeling a little bit tired today, and I picked up some overtime for this week. So I'm going to pace myself today, but this, I'll just show you how super easy it is to just throw this in the Instapot, let the Instapot do the cooking, and then I may or may not try to pressure can some of it. I haven't used my new pressure canner yet, so that might be something I want to do. So anyway, in my Instapot onion, I put a little bit of olive oil in here. And I have some more dried brown bouillon, the beef bouillon. I used the rest of my chicken, so I'm going to see if that's going to be enough. You can use chicken broth as well, but right now I just put the bouillon in there and the oil just to kind of add the more flavoring. And I'm going to put this on saute and get the onions going. And while the onions are going, I actually got some chopped up onions that I froze that I put in here. And I'm going to get those sauteing. And while those are sauteing, I'm going to chop up these carrots. Now, these are organic carrots. If I have like really good carrots, I don't even bother to peel them. So this is how easy it is. So when I know they're organic, oops, I put the wrong end of there. I'll just wash them really good, cut off the ends, and I'll throw them in here, and I'll just use my dicer. There we go. I think I had too many in there. And then I'll just throw them in here and get them nice and diced up. There we go. And I like a lot of vegetables in my soups, so I tend to put a little bit more than some people. You can just do however, I don't really measure, as y'all know. These in here. Much better when I cut them. There we go. Yeah. All right. So then I'm going to add these carrots in. So I'm just going to saute these up for a couple minutes to get them softened a little bit. Some nice flavor going in there. Not super long, maybe like 5 minutes. And I do like to do batch cooking, so that's why I'm going to try to do some of my freezer bags. I want to go clean up my freezer a little bit. All right, so one thing about doing like dried beans, lentils, peas, things like that, sometimes if people have problems digesting them, it's really important if you soak them. You can either soak them overnight, soak them for a few hours. I soak these for a few hours, and then I rinse them. I rinse them really good till kind of the water's almost clear. And that's what I did with my split peas. It does help them digest. If you notice when you eat beans, if you get real gassy, that's a lot of times what that comes from. So if you're soaking them and rinsing them, it breaks all that up, and it does help digest them better. So that's just one tip. If you do want to try to eat more, dried legumes and beans and things like that, that's a little tip for that. So let's get this. I also added garlic in here. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And then I'm going to add a couple bay leaves. Probably added more salt than I needed to since this is ham. I just realized that. So I did get a couple ham hocks. We do have a meat store in one of the other towns, a little ways, and they had ham hocks. So that's what I'm going to use. The place I order meat didn't have them, but one of the places over there did. All right, so I'm just going to let this saute for a little bit. Then I'm going to add 4 to 6 cups of water, depending on how thick you like it. And then I'll add my ham and my beans in it. And I'm going to put it on pressure for about 60 minutes and let it pressure cook down. That's how I'm going to make it. All right, I will see you in a bit and show you how that looks. All right. Thanks for watching. Hello, so welcome back. I have that split pea soup in the Instapot going. So some things I'm gonna make today is I'm gonna make some Hawaiian meatballs. In order to do that, I'm gonna make my meatballs from scratch. You can certainly you can buy the meatballs if you want, but like I said, I try to not eat any processed foods. So here I just have 2 pounds of the organic grass-fed beef. They did have this on sale. I think I saw at one of the grocery stores. I don't know. So you can get that in the local grocery stores too. You don't have to order it from a meat supplier. To that, now I don't have any breadcrumbs, so I just use, and I do this with my oatmeal too, I just use organic oatmeal. So, I mean, to my meatloaf, I just use organic oatmeal. I just use a little bit. It kind of helps it bind it up. Now, I went out and I picked some of my herbs, so you can use fresh or dried. But what I put in here is I put some basil, oregano, parsley. That's just kind of what I put in there. Or you can, you know, if you have like Italian seasoning, you can use that as well. So I just kind of got some of that fresh and put those in there. But I did put a lot in since we're making Hawaiian meatballs. I didn't go too Italian with this. I just like to add a little bit of seasoning with my meatballs. 2 eggs. Funny about touching raw meat, so I mix it with my hands. Oh, and a little garlic. Or a lot of garlic. A little bit of pepper. And some salt. I was going to add some tomato paste and tomato sauce, but actually I think since I'm going Hawaiian, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to leave those out. If I was making regular meatballs for like pasta or something, I would add tomato sauce or tomato paste in there. But I just realized these are going to be Hawaiian, so I am not going to add those in. So I just mix this up till it's nice and blended. And then when I get these meatballs cooking, then I'll show you what else we're going to make. I'm going to do those Hawaiian meatballs when these are done. I'm going to make a zesty Italian chicken. So you can make this as easy or non-easy as you want. I use a homemade cream soup. You can make it cream of chicken or you can make it just cream of onion, but cream of celery, you can put celery in it. But instead of using the processed soups in the grocery store that have MSG and GMOs and things like that, it's so simple to make it at home. For the cream of soup, it's just dry milk powder, flour, and chicken broth powder, which is why I used up the rest of my chicken broth powder. So you just mix those up, and onion flakes. Yeah, dried onion flakes. So you just mix those up in a mason jar, and then you take a cup of that and you mix a cup of that with milk. And that's really it. I even use almond milk to do it. So, all right, so that's mixed up. I'm gonna take my dirty gloves off here. And also when I cook, I move my garbage over so everything's kind of easy. Try to have my dishwasher empty so I can just clean as I go. So what I do here is I just scoop the meatballs out so they're kind of all the same size. And this is just I think it's a tablespoon or a teaspoon. I don't know. I think it's a tablespoon. And I just put them on here. So I'm probably gonna have to get another cookie sheet. So I'll get 2 cookie sheets, and then I'm just gonna bake them till they're done and let them cool. And then I'm gonna do them in a freezer bag with the stuff that I do for the Hawaiian meatballs, and then I just stick them in the freezer. So I had a better idea where I was going to put them on here and then shape them, and as they're falling through, probably a better idea. That's usually what I do, but let's see here. If they keep falling through, I'll shape them with my hands. But I do try to keep them the same size just because they cook evenly, and then in the freezer bags. So I'm just gonna do this and bake these meatballs. But like I said, I mean, sometimes I'll make a bunch of meatballs ahead and I'll just have them in the freezer. Like I have some turkey meatballs they're like spicy Italian, so I just use those for pasta. So sometimes I'll just make a whole bunch of them, just have them ahead. You can do that too. Just another way I'm trying to get away from the processed foods. Anyway. All right, so I'm gonna get these in the oven and then I will be back and I'll get going on the other meals. See you soon. Welcome back, friends. Okay, we are ready to assemble our meals. You will see how quick and easy it is to assemble. I've got our meatballs done. They bake for 15 minutes. I don't worry if they're 100% done all the way through because they are going to cook again. So that's one thing about these Instapot meals is they're still gonna cook. Like these chicken, the chicken's still frozen. I just took it right out. I have chicken thighs for the most part. I have an actual chicken breast too because I didn't have enough chicken thighs to do 2 in each bag. So let's first do the creamy Italian chicken. So these first 2 are creamy Italian chicken. If you see a little bit of red in mine, I just had that little bit of, I just had the top of the red pepper that I'm using for the cilantro chicken. I threw that in there, and then my leftover herbs that I used for the meatballs, I just threw that in there, but that's optional. You don't have to do that. Here I have the chicken and then the cream of chicken soup. Mine is a cream of onion. I didn't put the chicken, well actually I had chicken in one and one is the onion. I'll let you know if it makes a difference. So I did give you the instructions on how to make that if you want to make your own. If you're gluten-free or dairy-free, there's also many recipes on how to do that as well. I mean, if you can find canned organic or, you know, whatever, and you want to use that, that's fine too. I just couldn't find any. So, you know, when I can't find what I want, I just make it. There's always a way to make it. So I put a can of each of those. And then zesty Italian seasoning. Now that's another one that I just made myself because the ones in the store, they're full of, you know, GMOs, all kinds of stuff we don't want. So this is actually one of my little honey containers, but this is super easy to make too, and you probably have everything in it. So all that I did in here was 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of oregano, 1 tablespoon of parsley, 1 tablespoon of sugar. That's optional. I actually just put a teaspoon of sugar, and I use my, you know, my organic cane sugar. So I put a lot less sugar in there. Okay, but you know, whatever. So then 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of thyme, and 1/2 teaspoon of celery flakes, which I actually even had my own celery flakes that I had dehydrated. So that's all that's in here. It's super easy. So I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna put a tablespoon. I'm assuming that's probably what a package is. I'm gonna put a tablespoon in each of those. So there you go. None of the yucky things that we don't want in there. All right, and then for the thing that makes it yummy, 8 ounces of cream cheese in each of these. Now, I do buy the big packs at Costco. Like I said, if I could find a dairy farmer, I would be more than happy to support them and buy that, but I can't. And so that's what I have. But you know what? This says it has no preservatives in it, so I'm going to believe it doesn't. And so you put 8 ounces of cream cheese in each of those. And that is it for this recipe. That is, and it looked amazing, I tell ya. So all that we're going to do for this one is, in the slow cooker you do 6 to 8 hours on low. If you do have a pressure cooker or an Instant Pot, it's 20 to 25 minutes. So, and then I just try to get all of the air out. So you can, you know, if you do have a vacuum sealer, you can do that. Some people suck the air out with a straw. I actually just squeeze it all out up to the corner. I feel good about that. And some of the ones that I'm not going to eat in the next 3 to 6 months, because these are making a lot of food for me, I'm going to go ahead and double bag. So yeah, that's how we do the creamy Italian chicken. And you can also, if you're gonna put it in the Instant Pot, you can add a tiny bit of water to it too. It does have that cream soup in it, but mine, because it's homemade, is kind of super thick. So I might add just a little bit of water, just so it doesn't stick. Or olive oil, you know, whatever, that would be good too. Okay, so let me just get this in this one, and then I'll move on to the other chicken one. And you know, this is also a great way, you guys, if you just buy stuff on sale and then just find, you know, when you're watching these videos to do it, you know, if you have the stuff in your freezer, awesome. Otherwise, you know, stock up on the stuff that's on sale and just tuck these recipes away for another time. And then, you know, have them whenever you have the stuff. Because like I said, I got these canned organic black beans on sale at Walmart, and I just was looking for recipes that I could use them for. So that's why in the other video I had those that are in the freezer, and then this cilantro lime chicken has the black beans in it, and the corn. I had some more corn in my freezer. So yeah, just do it that way. It's awesome. Then we're using what we have, making these super easy meals that are ready. So we save money that way. We're not eating out. We're having great food and eating more healthy. So these are great, all great ways, you know, on these busy, because honestly, I didn't even feel like doing this, but I know it's so nice to have these to just pull out when I don't feel like cooking. I mean, it is really always nice to do. All right, so now I'm gonna go for the cilantro lime chicken. Now I only had one fresh lime, so I just divided it and squeezed it, half a lime in each. It says a whole lime, so I do have some lime juice that I'll probably just squeeze a little bit of this on top. So for that, let me find the recipe that I have. Oh, also it says to use a red onion. I just have a half of a yellow one, so I'm gonna use that up. That's what I have, so that's what I'm gonna use. But it does say red onion. We're gonna do, I have two, for me, I have two of the chicken in here. But remember, if you have like a family of 4 or 6, you can put 4 or 6 in here, okay? So just however much. These are actually really big. So I just put, I even put just one in this one, honestly. It was a really big chicken breast. So I put the garlic away. Actually was gonna, you know what? I was gonna cut up my garlic scapes. I got some garlic scapes at the farmer's market that I need to use, so I'm gonna use those. Garlic scapes are when the garlic flowers, if you grow your own garlic, the garlic flowers, and it actually has a really mild garlic flavor. And you want to harvest your garlic scapes because then it makes your garlic bulbs grow much bigger. So yeah, I'm gonna actually put these in instead of my garlic, because I was going to use some of these in my salad. I have some more lettuce and spinach to harvest out there, but this would be really good, these scapes. Oh, yeah, it's a super mild but delicious. I mean, it's not that mild. It gives you a nice garlicky flavor. I think it'll be really good in here. So I'm just going to chop up a bunch of these and split it. That'll be really good. All right. So the cilantro lime chicken has garlic, fresh cilantro, lime juice, red onion, which I did yellow, salt and pepper, black beans, and corn. For some reason I thought it had red pepper, but that goes in the meatballs, so I'm gonna just pick the onions out of here. Look at me trying to chop everything together, being efficient. So I'm gonna put some onions in half there, half the onion in there, half the onion in there. And if a couple onions get in the meatballs, it's not gonna be the end of the world. Isn't it funny how I cook? I really just try to do it the way it, you know, the easiest way. But we'll just get some onion in each of these. and there'll be a couple pieces of onion in those meatballs. When I was in Hawaii, I had grilled onions and a lot of things, so there we go. All right, so then I'm going to, I guess I can move that off, throw a can of black beans in each of these. I did wash and drain these. I don't like that that gelatinous, or and then you always want to wash and drain them because it helps digestion. We went over that with the split pea. And then I had this leftover frozen corn in the freezer, so I'm gonna put a nice amount in each of this. I always like when my food looks pretty, has nice colors. There we go. I have leftover corn for that. And then I'm gonna add some cilantro and the garlic. Yummy. Some people don't like cilantro. Now, I know for some people it gives them a chemical reaction. It tastes like soap. So I know my aunt was one of those, and she did not like it. So if you don't like it, you can leave it out. You could do a different one. You don't have to do this one. I love fresh cilantro. I planted it in 3 different spots in my yard. So there we go. We got that. Salt and pepper. And I'm going to add a little bit more lime juice in here too, because I only had that one lime. I'm just going to squeeze. Nice and fresh. I think it could use a little bit of zing of some spice. Let me see if it, garlic, black beans, corn, chipotle spice. I knew there was something that was probably missing. So some chipotle spice in there. You could use taco seasoning if you don't have any chipotle spice. Okay, there we go. That's how that one looks. Lovely. Just kind of mix it up with that lime in there. So for this one, this goes in a slow cooker for 6 to 8 hours. It only gives me a slow cooker option, so maybe the corn would get too mushy. So we can do a slow cooker for that one. Works for me. All right, and then the final one we're gonna do are these meatballs. These Hawaiian meatballs. These are definitely not keto. If you guys are keto, low carb, they have both pineapple and brown sugar in them. So, just giving you a heads up to my family members who do that. But like I said, once in a while, I like a sweet meal, or every once in a while they'll go out to eat and they'll splurge. So if you are not trying to go out to eat and you want a splurge meal in your house, this one looked amazing to me. Try to get all the air out. All right, so here are my meatballs that I made. Okay, I put about 24 in each bag. Now, in this, I am going to add red pepper. I just cut up 1 red pepper, and I'm just going to divide it between the 2 bags. Could probably put a whole red pepper in each, but I'm using my other one for something else, so half in each one. Then 1 can of chunked pineapple with the juice in each. So I just had a big one that I'd gotten at the co-op, so I'm just dividing it between the 2. If you guys, I don't know what kind of, it's just chunked pineapple, so whatever you guys can find, or if you cut your own up and maybe just get a little can of pineapple juice. But the can, this makes it really easy. The can of pineapple. Oop. Just like that. Yummy yum. Okay. I love pineapple. Ugh. Okay, and 2/3 cup of vinegar. Now it does say white vinegar, but I, of course, have the apple cider vinegar, and since it's sweet, I think that will work just fine. And then for the salty to go with the sweet, we have soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And I don't have enough amino acids, so I am using soy sauce in here. And the sweet, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, you can add molasses to your sugar, and that makes brown sugar. So, where's my tablespoon? I'm just gonna use a spoon. I have been putting stuff in the dishwasher, but which does make it a lot easier when you cook in batches. So 1 tablespoon, did I say it right? Oh, 1 cup. Oh, snap-a-da-dap. 1 cup. Well, here's 1/4 a cup. We'll do 3 of these instead of 4, since I did a big heaping tablespoon. See what I mean? It's not keto. I mean, I guess you could use brown swerve, and that would help. Pineapple does have definitely some sugar in it. You can maybe, I don't know what you could do, leave out the juice, or 2. 3. There we go. Here's this one. Ooh, I'm so excited about this one. If I didn't have that split pea soup going, I'd probably try this one this week, but I have the split pea soup going this week. So I'm gonna, when that gets done, see how I feel. If I want to try pressure canning, I'm gonna go look at how labor intensive it is. But so in that amount of time, we got the split pea and ham soup done. It's got 6 more minutes in there. So we got that done. We've got 2 cilantro lime chickens done. We've got 2 creamy Italian chickens done. And we've got 2 Hawaiian meatballs. So 2, 4, 6, that's probably 5 meals. Yeah, probably at least, it's probably 10 really. So at least, 11 to 15 meals there. And I don't know how long it took. I wasn't paying attention, but probably less than an hour. So anyway, the meatballs did take 15 minutes to cook. So yes, super easy ways to save money. Have them in the freezer, pull them out on those days that you work, you're busy, you don't feel good, you have things to do. Trying to help save money. I know I like it. It's just me, and I do it for me. So I can imagine a family. I remember when my kids were little and I didn't feel good, and we would just hit a drive-through, and my kids, I will tell you, I am telling on myself because honestly, I was sick. I showed you guys that picture in the hospital. My kids, because they know I can cook. My kids know my kids, it would get to the point where they'd be like, no, Mom, please, we don't want to drive through. So, first of all, it's terrible. It's not healthy. Secondly, when your kids are asking for home-cooked meals, ugh. So, yeah, that was a big eye-opener for me. So your kids like to eat good food. They like to eat good. And then it saves time. You guys can share meals together. We didn't have a dining room. That's one thing I really missed, is that we didn't get to sit together as a family. And I see my kids now, like especially my oldest son with his kids, they make it a point to eat dinner together, and I love that. So, this is just one way to try to bring our families together, eat better, be healthy. That's another thing I'm just trying to do. It's just me here, but I do see the value and the importance of all of this, and family is everything. So, you know what? Try them out. So if you like videos like this, please like and share. Let other people know. I appreciate it. It helps my channel out. Let me know of other things you like. I appreciate it. I do appreciate you telling me you guys like those. I'm listening. I am listening. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.